We are at the node at the energy together format where the secondary energy entries our energy system. These are the energy forms of electricity, district heating, and oil products. This is also called the conversion sector. This is where we convert from primary energy into secondary energy. If we look at the different possibilities in where the secondary energy can enter, first we can, for instance, import electricity. We can import different oil products. We can also take stored oil products from stock. We can also produce the electricity in district heating ourselves. And note here that there's a V or an arrow pointing downwards. This means that there's a level deeper inside this electricity and district heating. And I will explain more on this electricity and district heating later. There's also the possibility of only producing heat. Here they take primary energy and converts it only into heat. This could be in a gas boiler where you insert natural gas and receives heat. It could also be heat pumps where there is inserted some electricity and out comes some heat. Lastly, here we have the refineries. They take crude oil and converts it into oil products. This is oil products such as diesel, petrol, and petrol made for airplanes. As mentioned, there was a level deeper within the electricity and heat production. I will now show what this consists of. Within this category, we first have what is called centralized power plants. Then there is decentralized combined heat and power plants. These power plants produces both electricity and district heating. And then there is secondary producers. And also here again note that there is a V or an arrow pointing downwards on the secondary producers, but also at the centralized power plants, which once again means there's a level deeper, which I will look into in just a minute. But these secondary producers are producers of electricity and district heating, but not as their main focus. It is a benefit outside of their main focus. And as mentioned, I will look at this more in depth in just a minute. Then lastly, there's also wind turbines, which produce electricity, which goes into the transportation process. As mentioned, there is a level deeper within the centralized power plants, and I will now explain more in depth what this is. And here we firstly have electricity only plants. This is, as the name indicates, power plants which only produces electricity. We can also, for instance, see in this picture that there is a massive cooling required in the process, and this can be seen with the smokes coming out of these towers. Within this category, there are also combined heat and power. And as this name indicates, these are power plants which both produce electricity and district heating. There was also a level deeper within the secondary producers, and I will now explain into more depth what this is. Firstly, we have a category which name is electricity only. This is primarily solar cells, and this is, for instance, a farmer whom set up a solar park. His primary objective is not to produce electricity, since he is a farmer, and therefore he is categorized as a secondary producer. But it can also be a house which has solar cells connected to it. And then next we have what is called combined heat and power plants. This is, for instance, Arla or other industry companies whom requires a lot of heat, and then alongside their own productions, then they also produce some electricity, since it will give them a higher efficiency on their production. Lastly, we have heat-only plants. This is, for instance, data centers, whom produces a lot of heat, which can be used in the district heating infrastructure. These are the different methods in where secondary energy enters our energy system.